Rickie Fowler has made a comeback recently, and a lot of people are talking about certain aspects of his swing and his mental game. But there is something that is so unbelievably simple that he is doing on every single shot that I'm going to show you as we play this hole together, how it's going to give you more flow, more power, and more freedom in your mind to hit good golf shots. If it's good enough for Rickie, it's good enough for you. So I did something there that is very, very subtle. But other players do it too, not just Rickie. He didn't used to do it when he started to struggle. So if you're struggling with your game, especially how to start your swing with flow, with momentum, with confidence, there's a little key that I did just then with my feet. And Dustin Johnson does it as well, on drives, on irons, chip shots, that makes the swing much better. Let's show you how. You struggle with wondering how to start your swing, or you tend to have a feeling of snatching the club away as you're trying to get the swing going. And this is something that Rickie was struggling with for a long time, because he was working so hard to try and change his swing positions that he completely got detracted from what he was actually meant to do, which was produce a swing and hit the ball off the center of the face with energy, with momentum. But what he was doing for too long, and I'm not saying it's the only reason he had his slump, he would very much work on his takeaway, trying to hit these certain positions. He was trying to stop it dragging too much on the inside, which was a tendency of his. And, you know, a lot of pundits will be talking a lot about, at the moment, his swing is a bit more upright. It's not quite so laid off. Yes, that has been a factor. But one thing that is sort of flying under the radar, and it is for a lot of golfers, and very little golf instruction talks about this, is how the best in the world start their swing. So DJ, you can see him a lot of times before shots, practice swings especially, he's almost just tapping his feet this way. It's all about that momentum. And you see long drive guys do it too. There's a step into, then a step back to really throw that club backwards. And you might not be trying to be a long drive guy, but let's just focus on Rickie at the moment. It's very subtle, but what he's doing as he starts his swing, he's not staying static for a single, well, maybe a fraction of a moment, but there's very little pause. It's always about movement. Just like you would in anything else in life, you would always be in motion, because that staticness, not only does it hamper the movement that we're trying to create, the energy that we're trying to create of moving this club back that way so we can move it back this way in a repeated fashion to hit the ball. What happens is the more we freeze over our shots, thoughts go into the head, negative thoughts, too many swing thoughts, this kind of paralysis. And you think, well, I'm having to stay over the ball because I'm thinking about all these things. Or you're pausing over the ball too long, which allows for these things to happen. So if you start making it a little bit more reactionary, that is going to be a big key for you, because golf is a static sport. We're not reacting to someone throwing something at us and hitting it. We have to kind of start the reaction, the response of what we're trying to do. The more we can do that, the better it's going to be. So the way we can do it is twofold. One, you can practice first, is after you've chosen your shot, you've got your point where you want to hit it, you take your grip, and as you set up to the ball, you're going to put your feet down, you're going to get your aim correct, one look, and then you're going to hit. No pause. Doesn't mean you're rushing, but there's no pause, no hesitation, no time for fear to enter your brain. It's a very fluid motion. We walk into it, we step, we look, and then we swing, okay? It takes a little bit of getting used to do it that way, and I wouldn't suggest going out and trying it on the course, because a lot of times we feel too rushed. But I really want you to take note of how much you're pausing over the ball. That is kind of lesson number one today. Try and speed that up. However you try and do it, just try and speed that up. The next thing, which is a bit more specific, as Rickie sets his club behind the ball, he's having a look. He's doing this little shuffle, okay? It's very subtle, but his feet are moving. And yes, he's getting comfortable with the ground to be able to use the ground, but also it's the fact that he's not freezing. And his swing trigger is a very athletic one. We want to apply pressure into the lead foot, then the trail foot. We're not sort of swaying, but the pressure is being pushed down. I can feel it in the balls of my feet. And I go forwards to start coming backwards. And then the transfer to make my way back down is the feet apply pressure to the front foot as well. So exaggerating, it's tap, tap, tap. That's the golf swing, okay? Tap, tap, tap. There we have it. But he's doing this all the way through. And I want you to do the same. Pick my line, my feet are moving. Push, push, push. And there we have it. And it works on chip shots as well. Here's just another example. Marcus Hellikild from Denmark, a really fantastic up-and-coming golfer. He has one of the best swings and one of the best coaches, Andreas Carli, around. His swing might look beautiful and perfect, but it is simple. And one of the reasons that it is simple and so reliable is because it's based on movement. And as you can see here, he's using his feet constantly to keep the width, to have the trigger, to have everything in motion and starting from the ground, to go back and forwards. There's very little passive movement. Reduce the pause, increase the consistency. So we just overflown the green a little bit, but it's a good time to show you that even with putting or chipping, not being too static and freezing over the ball to snatch things away is really going to help, because we want fluid tempo. And using the ground, using your feet to always be in motion, for the whole action to always be in motion, is going to make things a lot easier. Just start putting this into practice and play. Notice what you're doing. Notice how much you're pausing over the shot. And if you can reduce it and use your feet like DJ, like Rickie Fowler, like Marcus Hellikild, I promise you will find unparalleled consistency. Let me know how you get on. Now, if you want to have the backswing work much easier and better, check out this lesson next. It's going to give you everything you need to have a reliable movement after you start your swing.